All right, it's Tuesday, December 16th. Welcome to Constant MTG live stream. Excited to be back. We're coming back a little sooner than expected just because we missed everybody. I'm Jared, and I'm here with my partner in crime, the Robin to my Batman, the Siegfried to my Roy, the Eye to my Tiger, Ian. What's going on, Ian? That's what you got, Frog Prince? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll workshop it. We'll workshop it. No, I'm great, man. Good to be here with you. Also excited about the holidays. There's some fun Magic the Gathering related events coming up for the holidays. So that's going to be great. And then I'll have to bolster all of my addictions for a couple of weeks because I'll be with my wife's side of the family doing the holiday shenanigans. So trying to get it all in before we break for the holidays. Yeah, no kidding, man. No kidding. I don't know if we've mentioned this yet on stream, but most of our subscribers are local with us as well for now. But I think it's fair to share that we're from Austin, Texas, and the Austin Magic community is booming, man. I moved here from the East Coast in 2018, and it's taken me, several years to find my lane magic wise. But this city's fantastic, and I've been really impressed with, especially like the holiday themed events at local game stores. So that's where we're streaming to you from is Austin, Texas, in the area. And yeah, I think the community's booming. Maybe we can bring more people into the community here. Love it. Real quick, Ian, we're getting some word in chat that you are not audible, and I think we had that issue at the beginning of last stream. And something magical happened. The internet's technology happened, and everything sort of fixed itself. But maybe we could take a quick second to mic check. Chat. What about now? Did you hear anything from Ian? Just waiting to see if anybody in chat can give us a heads up. Hunter said no dice for your audio, Ian. Okay. Ian's going to be working on troubleshooting this audio situation, but it's okay. He said I'm going to be talking my head off anyway. So, real quick, we'll go through the agenda for this evening. We'll do a quick recap of last time on stream. We've got a quick verbal update on Constant Lists, the website. We're going to do a crack a pack. I actually got two crack a packs ready. So if we want to do two, we've got the space to do it. We're going to talk through the Marvel spoilers and get into it, what we like, what we don't like, what we think will be interesting, useful, fun, cool to build. We'll touch on the Dan Secret Layer updates just in case you didn't get the memo on that one. And then we're going to do something that was suggested by our Discord, which, by the way, at some point here, you're going to see a QR code at the bottom of the screen to join our Discord. Someone said it would be really cool to go through entering a deck that you've got physically into constant lists. And so we're going to do that. I'm not going to reveal the deck quite yet, but it'll be memey and fun and interesting. And then just a reminder, we've got a D&D gift bundle that will open on stream, but I think that'll be another night. That'll probably be a weekend stream. So without further ado, checking back in with you, Ian. How we doing on your side of the world? Let's see. Chat, give us a thumbs up or an indication that you can hear Ian there, and then we'll get started once we confirm. Hunter, any improvement on Ian's audio? Alas, you cannot be heard. Still no, Ian. Oh, bummer. Okay. All right. All right. So Ian's going to keep messing with it, see if he can't get us in there. But in the meantime, just a quick reminder, this stream is sponsored by Constant Lists, which is a community-driven website that has been created by us, the Magic community. The Constant List website, we aim to make it unique and different and set aside from other websites like it. So we take all the good stuff from TCG Player, Card Kingdom, any of your sort of research tools like Moxfield, Scryfall, etc., and try to integrate features that you haven't seen elsewhere. Example of that, you get your deck box loaded or your deck list loaded in Constant Lists, and you have the option to trick your deck out and bling it. Think Pimp My Ride from MTV, but with Magic cards. You click the Bling Me button, and our website will reconfigure your list to make it the most expensive version of your deck. We did this when we were building Helga, the frog,
Yep.
and we managed to take a $300 basic deck and make it about $5,000. So
Yep.
that's fun. On the flip side, we have a button that does quite the opposite. So if you're really tight on a budget and you want that budget-friendly deck, we've got a Help Me on Poor button. And that one, you click it and it'll kind of zone you back to reality and give you all the cheapest cards to build your deck. The building tools are all community driven too. So all of those headaches you experience using Moxfield or Scryfall, we've really tried to be thoughtful and integrate features, tools, mechanisms to make that smooth sailing.
Yes.
That being said, it sounds like I could still hear you, Ian.
Yeah, that's
But
because we're in Discord together, but I think I might have figured it out. I'm hoping.
let's see. Ian is talking now, so let us know again if we are back to Ian time.
Fingers crossed, but we'll continue on as if I'm not here. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead if we want to jump in to the recap.
There
Oh,
he is.
I'm
You're
back.
here. You're
Hooray.
here. Hooray.
I'm
Okay.
here.
Thank you
Cool.
that. Thank you for that, Zach. That means we have both Siegfried and Roy on stream, which feels a lot better, y'all. Um, I'm really feeling something, both emotionally and physically. All right. Well, let's keep cruising through. We did our announcements. We talked about the site. Speaking of the site, Ian, I know you had a few very minor, sort of teasery updates you wanted to share, and then we'll get into our crack a pack.
Yeah, yeah, thanks, Jared. So actually, I think I'm in a place where I could probably share my screen and just do just a couple quick updates. I will put a disclaimer up that I found some pretty big underlying improvements that were able to be made today on the website, and I decided to pursue them, knowing that we were going to stream, and I think I got most of them solved. The fact that this screen is here right now brings me much joy, because about, I don't know, an hour and a half ago, this was not there. So there's a couple things, actually, I'd say somewhat considerable updates, that I wanted to just quickly walk people through that joined tonight. And I will preface by saying, pardon our dust, because these are, the site is still heavily under construction. So some of the changes you're going to see aren't going to look super pretty. But I do want to just explain what we're doing and give you sort of a glimpse into the site and how it's being deployed and sort of where our head is at with some of this stuff. So for those of you that have used it, this is Constant Lists. It is definitely a labor of love. We've gotten so much more done in the past month or so from our patrons, many of whom are on stream tonight. So thank you to all of you who joined and continue to support us. But the site itself is really meant to, again, like Zach, like Jared said, sorry, Zach's on the brain. Like Jared said, fill some of the gaps that you may be experiencing with current deck builders or collection trackers or just Magic the Gathering in general sites. So we're not going to go too deep into the build page because we're actually going to use that later. But I did want to give everyone a glimpse into two pages that are new, actually. Well, one is new, one is revamped. The first one is, we're going to just touch on the store page here. Again, hard in our dust. This doesn't look great. But we are going to improve. We have to get the formatting back to where it was. But the plan with this is actually to provide a somewhat of a marketplace for some of our friends that are interested in selling. We have a really good friend of ours named Josh McCourt. He's actually, this was his idea, and if he if he sees this, I hope he does. I might send it to him directly if he's not on his stream, but he actually has been purchasing bulk for, good Lord, I don't know, months, and categorizing it. And he recently just got a shop put up in TCG Player. He's very active in the selling community. He actually used to run a shop out in Florida, selling Magic cards and trading cards. So he came to me months ago, months and months ago, and said, "Hey, like if I wanted a place to sell that wasn't TCG Player, would you be open to doing that?" And I said, "Yeah, 100%." At the time, I didn't really know how much work this site was going to be, so it kind of sat in the back for a while, and watched as the rest of the site was built around it. But we're getting to a place now where we can start implementing some of these other features. So again, this is very, very, very like pre-alpha, whatever is before alpha version, just to make sure some of the functionality works. But the plan here is that we could potentially pull packs on stream. We could sell those if you'd be interested in purchasing cards from us. Also, we want to support folks like Josh that want to sell and maybe don't want to don't want to have to deal with the overhead that's involved with selling through someone like TCG Player. Um, so this is just like very entry level. We're just starting to dip a toe in here to see what this is going to look like, but I'm really excited to see what can come of it. This actually was put together between the last stream and today, which also is pretty fun to share. The other page that you may be familiar with if you've used the site is the research page. And again, this is actually how I discovered some of the big underlying issues that I was working on today. But this is changed considerably if you did use it. Um, so the idea with this page is that if you search through Scryfall, I think Scryfall is probably the best example. But a lot of the other sites that exist out there really don't provide a great like research tool. So let's say you're not actively building a deck, but you want to like get information about a card, or you want to get like the art for a card or something like that. There's a myriad of different reasons you would not be in a deck but needed a card. usually I would go to Scryfall, which is just one system outside of another system that I'm using, which drives me nuts. So, for our cases here, like I could search for Doom, and what it would do is pull up, just in this case, all the different things that have the word Doom in them. And what we're going to do here is, if I click on Doctor Doom, which I'm very excited about this card, if you can't tell. But what the intention behind this is, this page would give you a ton of information about the card. And we're talking like the full JSON file. You could even copy the JSON data if you wanted to, if you were doing some sort of work on your end or needed this JSON data for something. Links to other places, all the different card information, data points. The plan with this too would be like, make David Palumbo's name a link so you could click on it and it would update the search field to show you only cards that had his art, right? So there's a lot of like different things that we could tie in within this that I think would be really cool. The other thing that I think sets it apart from something like Scryfall is when you search in Scryfall, it's like that's it. You load another page. That's kind of where you are. This, the intention behind this is that it's all in one kind of package, if you will. And there would be ways to share this out, of course, but it wouldn't be having to go back and forth between pages or having to load or any of that kind of stuff. So, pretty excited about this. The formatting is really what got me in hot water today. And I found out something called CSS pollution, which I never knew what that was until today. But I found out very quickly what it was, and hopefully have resolved it. I've resolved it for the site. So yeah, Hunter, no one's ever said JSON. It's like someone saying GIF. Yeah, I know. I'm just totally showing how competent I am in web design. So yeah, this is pretty exciting. I think there's a lot of potential here, and obviously very happy to share this with everybody. Again, we're really trying to make a point to develop and design this site publicly. Like we want the community to be a part of it. Like today, and somebody in our Discord today shared a link to their deck that they were building in the site, in one of the public channels. And if you follow the link, it'll take you to the site. Like you can go there, right? And if you notice, like I totally am not trying to hide what the site name is at this point, at least for those that decide to join and support us. I'd love for you all to get in there. We're also going to be doing like a full blown server slam. So it's kind of decent timing just to have the website, the URL more exposed. Get in there. Like I would love for you all to jump in, make some decks, make an account, pick it apart, tear it down. Like let me know what it is that you think we should change. Um, and if you're not sure how to let us know how to make those changes, on the homepage, at the bottom, there's a link to our Discord. And I might put that in some more places so you can get to it. If this site inspires you or makes you feel supported as a Magic the Gathering player, we'd love if you would support us in Patreon. Currently, there's only one rank or one contribution level. It's $5 a month. And that's really helping pay for server costs. And also, honestly, I think more than anything, it's been a way for us to get really good feedback and progress the site at a faster rate than we had been before. So, really excited about this. Thanks for letting me take another minute today to share, or a few minutes. Jared, I'll pass it back to you, but this is it's coming along. It's coming along nicely. Very
I
excited.
love it, man. Again, the time in between updates is so short in this day and age, and I commend you, Ian. You're really living in 2025, maybe 2030. This is the kind of stuff that would take weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and months to do with traditional web development just a few years ago. So, gotta love the technological component and where we're at today, and all the cool things you could do. Keep us posted. Anything you want to see on the website, let us know. I think we're starting to demonstrate that we take that stuff seriously, and if it's an interesting concept that's never been done before, I think the general consensus is let's try it.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah. Why not?
Um, why not? Why not? All right. So I've got two crack a packs that we could do tonight. And we'll go ahead and start out with Ether Drift. And I've got my packs out there so you can kind of see what's going on. And Ether Drift is an interesting one. I think most people were sort of sleeping on Ether Drift. I think a lot of people didn't like it. There was some controversy about the Plane of Kaladesh and the naming convention that sort of threw things off. But I will say this, I think um, given the future, there will be some bangers in Ether Drift that really start to shine, and maybe some of the scarcity of the set means that the values will go up. I personally have a love-hate relationship with all the PP cards. Those are the cards that I think were meant to be gold, but they really came out in a very um, a very suspicious yellow color. And so I'm hoping we can see some PP lands or a PP rare. That would be my hope.
This is
Now I don't.
I think
Go
this is
ahead.
the card. This is the chase card. Is the PP Aether Spark.
Is it the
Um,
PP Aether Spark? Okay, yeah, I'm
there's a PP Aether Spark that we wanna pull tonight.
all right. And it's a fussy pack. It sort of reminds me of those Chocobo packs. We'll move that out of the way. We'll get this out of the way. All right. So I think we're good. All right. So first card, we've got a Daring Mechanic. It's a 3/3 for 3 mana, 2 and a white. And for 3 and a white, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target mount or vehicle. Um, Too expensive. Probably not great. Probably a limited card at best.
Hmm.
Uh, Clamorous Ironclad. That's a 6/3 for 4. So it's 3 and a red. It's got Menace. It's a crew 3, which is traditionally a pretty steep crew cost. You really want 2 or less.
Yep.
But you could cycle it. And so this does have the advantage of being able to cycle for 1. 1 mana cyclers are extremely useful in a lot of different formats. Typically, 1 is where you want to be. 2 mana cycling is a lot more niche, and those occasional 3 mana cycling cards just never get used. So 1 mana cycling, kind of an interesting card. In Spider-Man, there's a reanimate that allows you to reanimate a vehicle or a creature. So maybe this is a target for that. I think that's a black card. I think it's Prison Break. I might be wrong.
I can't remember.
Anyway, we'll keep going. We'll try to go fast, but these are new cards to us, unlike the Final Fantasy packs, which we've done 30 on stream so far. So we'll go ahead and take the pause
Yeah, yeah.
and check these out.
It's kind of nice
Uh,
to not talk about Final Fantasy, not
I
gonna lie.
know, I know. I'm excited. Grim Javeliner, Javelina. I don't
Ja
know. Uh,
Javelineer.
Javelineer. Okay, great. Uh, Grim Javelineer is 2 and a black. Whenever you attack, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. When that creature dies, you surveil. It's a 3/2. Again, that might be sort of a C level limited card. We've got
Hmm.
a Pothole Mole. I actually really like the wordplay here. The Pothole Mole. That's a 2 and a green. I hope it's good because I like the art too. When this creature enters mill 3 cards, then you may return a land card from your graveyard to your hand. Doesn't quite make the cut. If it said Battlefield, oh my god, this thing would be played all over the place. It's a 2/3, great name, great art,
Yeah,
not a great
yeah,
card.
it's like close to being decent, but it's just not. Like,
At 3, you just want, I'll pick it up again. You just want a ramp. And even at 3, you should be able to ramp. You know,
yeah,
2 mana ramp is all over the place, and so a 3 mana help you hit your land drop as opposed to ramp you,
yep.
I just don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. But if you're making a Badger Mole Cub deck and you're trying to do Mole Tribal, I guess this is one of the very few mole cards out
Yeah,
there.
Mole Tribal is the way to go. I think that's gonna be my 2026 chase
So,
deck. That's what I'm gonna.
God, I hope they do a mole man, secret layer, and bring out the mole guy. There's been a lot of mole related superheroes. You know, they did it in Pixar's The Incredibles had a mole villain, and then I think maybe one of the most recent movies, one of the most recent either DC, maybe it was the Superman movie had the Mole Man. Anyway,
Mm.
we'll keep cruising. Gear Seeker Serpent is 7 mana. It's got affinity for artifacts, so you can make it cheaper. So it's 5 blue. That's traditional 5 blue Kraken, Serpent, Octopus vibe. For 6, so 5 and a blue, you can make it unblockable, and it's a 5/6. We've seen this card and many cards like it. Big blue card that has some contingent unblockability.
This is
It's mostly
that
filler, right?
yeah, that's a limited card in my
Yeah.
opinion. You'd be playing that at a pre-release or in a draft. It's
I
got
tell you
that
what,
it's got that stereotypical like big activated cost ability to kind of close out the game sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like
I've
that's
done it. I've done it. I've used this similar card to close out a game number of different times. 6 mana swing in for the last 5 damage unblockable. It gets the job done, but only in limited.
it does. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we got a Thopter. This is the Ether Jacket. It's 3 mana, flying vigilance. Sacrifice this creature, destroy another target artifact. Activate only as a sorcery. Um, Interesting Thopter. Again, the rate is just not. Man, we've had some power creep. Let me tell you, 3 mana, 2/1 flying vigilance. I would have been salivating over this, 10 years ago, but
Yeah, I mean
just
that's
not.
like if y'all remember Mantis Rider from freaking Tarkir, it was haste flying vigilance, I think. Is a 3/3 for 3, and it was like the standard destroyer. Like everyone was playing that card.
Yep, yep, no joke. Yeah, Ether Jacket is a gem from an old time.
Yeah.
Light Wheel Enhancements is a 1 mana aura, so it enchants a creature or a vehicle. It's got start your engines, and so basically you increase your speed on each of your turns up to a max speed of 4. I really hated this mechanic.
I hate it. I
Uh,
hate it.
it
Not only does
it's
it suck, but it also kind of like makes anyone that uses it sort of just like annoying because everyone at the table is like, say it,
vroom, vroom.
say start your engines, and
Yeah.
then there someone gets embarrassed, then there's some dude that's like, oh, vroom vroom, and it just gets weird. Like I hate it.
Yep. Yep. So, anyways, start your engines. Not our favorite. This is a +1/+1 in vigilance for 1. And then once you're at max speed, you can cast this card from your graveyard. So it has a recurability. But again, not amazing.
Nope.
All right, we're getting into the uncommons here. Pace Setter Paragon. It's a 3 mana. It's 2 and a red. It's a 2/3. It's got exhaust, which is another one of the Ether Drift sort of drag racing mechanics. You pay 3. You put a +1/+1 counter on the on this creature, and it gains double strike until end of turn. Again, it's a limited card. Doesn't really need to be played anywhere else, but could be good in a limited deck. Here is our token 5 mana reanimate. Let's see what it says. It's back on track, 4 and a black. Return target creature or vehicle from your graveyard to the battlefield. Create a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token with this token saddles mounts and crews vehicles as though its power were 2 or greater. So this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. It's the reanimate that also hits vehicles, and that could see some niche play in Commander. I do have a vehicle-based Commander deck, and this is the type of card I might throw in there if I wanted to stay budget friendly. So there's some use here. But that 5 mana reanimate slot is mostly what we see in every set. Every set now has the 5 mana one. And of course, if you're playing Commander, you're used to 1 and 2 mana reanimate. So again, it's a little niche. All right. Next one, Voyage Home. God, this is expensive. Hopefully it has affinity. It's 5, a blue, and a white. It does have affinity for artifacts. So at its best, it's going to cost 1 white and 1 blue. And what do we get to do for 1 white and 1 blue? Draw 3 cards and gain 3 life. I suppose this goes in every affinity deck that runs those colors. What do you think, Ian?
I think so. It's
I,
it's good, good, not great. And it's only
Yeah,
good. It's only good if you have the five colorless covered with your affinity.
yeah, and it's also like, did they have to make this a sorcery? Could it have been an instant? Could it have been a hold this card up along with like a Dovin's Veto or a counter spell, and have a little more flexibility?
Yeah,
That's my if it doesn't seem too push to make this instant, but you know,
I agree.
neither here.
I agree.
Uh, Earth Rumbler. Okay, we got a green card here. It's a vehicle. It's 4 and a green. Vigilance Trample. Exile an artifact or creature card from your graveyard. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. So it has a non-traditional crew cost, which I do like these alternative crew cost cards typically. So you basically exile an artifact or creature card from your graveyard instead of crewing it. And it's a 7/6. It also has a crew 3, which I shared earlier is steep to pay. But I actually think this card's a little better because it's got the alternative cost. And I think it can't be too difficult to have some artifacts laying in the graveyard.
If you're
So
if you're in green, definitely not. I mean, you could you could build this around Golgari or anything with black and green. You could mill
yep.
plenty of stuff or put plenty of stuff in your graveyard.
It is interesting because in Kaladesh, in the first set, so Kaladesh and I forget what the second one was. Somebody can help me out with that. Green was the anti-artifact color, and so it is interesting to see this as a limited card. I'm curious if they've sort of moved away from that, but in Commander, certainly doesn't matter what deck you're running, you could be playing lots and lots of artifacts.
Well,
So seven six
green, yeah,
vigilant tramp.
yeah,
Yeah,
green is always an anti-artifact color, anti anything magic, like enchantments, artifacts. It's meant to destroy all that stuff.
it wants to go
Um,
back to nature, man. It wants
yeah,
worms in the ground and giant
yeah,
fist to pound. Yeah. All
there
right,
you
we'll
go.
keep going. Up here it is. Okay. River Churn Monument. Pull this up, Ian. Let's see. Let's see what a hit I got here.
Getting it.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna guess it's a banger. Hold on. Let's see. It's a 2 mana artifact. 2 mana artifacts are amazing. They're typically great. This one is 1 and tap. Any number of target players each mill 2 cards. So it's a millstone. And then you can exhaust it for 4, 2 and 2 blue. Any number of target players each mill cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. Actually, I don't think it's worth much, but in a mill deck, I could see this.
This
I
is
could see this being a thing.
yeah.
Is it? It's got to be less than $1. I'm going to go with 36 cents.
If you doubled that guess, you would have been right. It's about 70 cents.
Okay, so there's
Yeah.
our rare
Which
70 cents,
I would have thought it would have been less, considering all the Final Fantasy cards we pulled that were like,
12 cents.
yeah. It was yeah, that was pretty sad. The exhaust mechanic is interesting to me. There's a really good card I like. It's like a snake. It's the only card I actually have bought from Aether Drift. It's an uncommon snake that you can exhaust and go essentially get a land from the top of your library. Um, but the exhaust mechanic is interesting because you can only cast it once. So, you want to be cognizant of when you use it on this card. Um, or if there was a way that you could get rid of this and then bring it back. Um, my understanding of exhaust is if it leaves the battlefield and comes back, then it refreshes the exhaust ability. So if you could blink it, if you could sack the artifact and bring it back with some sort of, artifact matters blue situation, which there are plenty of, that could do some cool stuff.
I mean, we're really giving this card a lot of credit. It's a finisher in a mill deck. You mill the first 50, and then you've got Frog Fountain out, and you're done. It's game over. So
Dunzo,
there's something going on. I might put this one in Mothman just for the giggles.
just for the
My
gigs.
Mothman deck is very much mill focused,
Yeah,
and
it's
so nothing wrong with that. You know, 4 triggers on Mothman every turn. Does it say any number of target players? So you can mill yourself, which is what you want to do.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to call this one considering for Mothman. Let's check out our foil. Our foil has exhaust as well. We're kind of familiar with how that works. It's 1 in a red. It's haste. It's probably a goblin. Sure enough, it's a goblin. It's prow catcher specialist. Prow catcher specialist. It's kind of a mouthful for some reason. So 2/1 haste. Its exhaust is 4, so 3 in a red, and you get to put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. So that makes it a 4/3. 4/3 haste is a sort of iconic stat line in a hasty aggro deck. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if these were getting run in limited.
Yeah.
Again, I think the use case outside of that probably niche at best.
I was gonna say limited.
Um,
That's a limited card. That's like an
we
end
got
game limited finisher.
an island and a treasure, and then the backside of the treasure is a Thopter. Is it wrong that I actually think I like the tokens the best and the land art the best out of everything we
No,
pull?
that's like every Aether Drift pack.
That's every Aether Drip pack. No PP stuff. I'm very disappointed. Get ready. If you play my Mothman, Frog Fountain's coming at you. All right. One
Zach
more crack at that.
Zach said I need to look at a card, so I'm gonna pull it up. It's called Elvish Refueler.
Bring it up.
I don't know what this card is. During your turn, as long as you haven't activated an exhaust ability this turn, you may activate exhaust abilities as though they haven't been activated. Okay, so you could like recast exhaust stuff. That's cool. She's just filling up the tank with her magic wand. I like that. And yeah, the snake that I'm talking about, Hunter put in chat as well, thank you, is the Sky Serpent Seeker, and it's good. I always feel good when I activate its exhaust ability. Because it's good. And it's a flying death touch snake, dude. You can't beat a flying death touch snake. And you reveal cards from the top of your library till you reveal 2 land cards. Then you put them both onto the battlefield. It's so good. It's so good. Like when I've activated this a couple times, and it always just feels real nice. And you get to put a 1/1 counter on it. Just why not? Of course. So thank you, Hunter.
Love it. Let's take a look now. I've got a second pack. I moved this into frame because it seems to help the auto focus on the cards to have something over there. So just kind of moving that in. I probably need to clear off the back of that table. I didn't think that was visible, but I'll allow it. We're going to crack this Adventures in Forgotten Realms booster pack next. The biggest hit here is the Old Gnawbone.
Mm.
And so we're going to see if we can hit Old Gnawbone. Any other hits that we need to comment on for this set?
Uh, there's a few. Let me pull it up. Um,
I will tell you my favorite art from this set is the blue, 3 blue pips Lich card. Just looks very classic Magic. I forget what that one's called.
oh,
Chad will probably say
the
no.
Demi Lich.
The Demi Lich, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if we're looking at the Adventures of Forgotten Realms, the main hits, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. So Old Gnawbone is like by far and away the one to pull. It's $37 right now.
Woo.
But there are a couple other ones. Teleportation Circle is in this, which is
Oh, great
awesome.
card. Great card.
Also, Fighter Class is really cool. If you, I don't know if you
Better.
do you have this in your cloud deck, dude? Because like this is
No,
like
I
you
need one. Maybe
you
maybe we're getting cards to use. This is great. My
you need a
frog
Fighter
fountain.
Class. Yeah,
Frog
you
fountain's
got
going in
Frog
Mothman.
Fountain.
Fighter class. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, yeah, Fighter Class is great. And then another one that is worth looking for, Circle of Dreams Druid. That's basically Gaia's Cradle on a creature. It's a 3 forest pip, 2/1 elf druid, and you add a forest for each creature you control when you tap it. And then also Zorn is cool. Zorn is this wacky,
Double the treasures or something, right?
yeah, yeah. Well, you do the number of treasures you make plus 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I run Zorn in my Setzer deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be a great pull. That's a great card in a lot of decks.
And
All
then
right.
one
What else?
more. There's a common from this set that is really good. Unexpected Windfall. It's
Oh,
a
such a
Yeah, it's a $3.50 common right now.
good.
So
Okay.
hopefully you get one of those because it's a really, really, really good card.
Game on, man. Game on. All right. Well, let's start off with Dragonfire. Not super useful unless you got a dragon deck, but it's a lightning bolt for 2. But if you can reveal a dragon, it deals damage equal to the power of the dragon to a creature instead. And actually, it
Mm,
only deals damage to creatures or planeswalkers. So it's not even as good as a light. It's like strictly worse lightning bolt or a braid or any of those, with a little incentive for having dragons. Um, Flavor's good, but man, for something for Dragonfire, you would hope for a little bit better.
yeah.
All right, let's bar the gate now. It's a counter spell. This one's interesting. This is a counter target creature or planeswalker spell, but you do get the benefit of venturing into the dungeon.
Yep.
And I really, Acerak is on my short list of mono black commanders to make. I actually did like the venture into the dungeon mechanic. Maybe I'm just a fool, uh,
I don't think
but
so. I love it. I love it to
I
death.
think
It's
it's
like my
cool. I think
favorite.
it's flavorful. I think it's fun. I like this gift pack back here. We'll open one of these on stream. I have a few of them. They come with all of the enlarged dungeon cards, which is
Mm,
really awesome.
yeah.
Um, s-
There's a green deck that I've been brewing for a while now, and it's a mono green dungeon deck, and the it's like a dungeon wolf tribal deck. And
oh,
I want to make it so bad. I just I have so many decks I need to make, but that one is I just love the mechanic.
yep. I'm in 3 mana count. Sort of conditional counterspell. Not great, but the venture into the dungeon makes it interesting and flavorful. And you could probably get away with this in a dungeon deck
Yep.
without losing too much steam from the cost and the inflexibility.
Yep. 100%.
All right. Paladin's Shield. It's an equipment, 1 and a white. Flash. When Paladin's Shield enters the battlefield, you get to attach it. Love the auto attach equipment. That's like a big thing. This is just equipped creature gets +0/+2, so it's actually just not good at all. It's sort of meant to save a creature from combat, but there's just so many better ways to do this. This is my favorite common in this set. I don't know why, but Shambling Gas to me is a very fun card. It's like stupid fun. It's a 1/1, it's a zombie, it's 1 mana, and when it dies, you either get to give a creature -1/-1 until end of turn, or you get to search the body and create a treasure token. I don't know why I like this guy. I think armies of Shambling Gas are up my alley for whatever reason. I did play limited for this set, and this was sort of like a key sort of common sea level filler card.
Well, I think
Um,
I think you have to read the abilities with the scenarios for it because the flavor is like where it really shines. Because when it dies, you choose one, right? You brave the stench, and that's when you get -1/-1, or you search the body, and that's when you create a treasure, which is great.
I think this set, now that you say that, Ian, was the first set to incorporate these sort of like flavorful ability titles. And now they do it all the time, so it's not a big deal. But
Hmm.
when this dropped, I think people were very confused. They were like, oh, are we going to see Brave the Stench on a bunch of cards? And it's like, well, no, we're just giving you some role playing flavor here. Um, so there you go. Let's keep going. We got Hill Giant Herd Gorger. He's 4 and 2 green. And when he enters the battlefield, he gains 3 life, and he's a 7/6. We've got Kick in the Door. That's a 1 mana sorcery, one red. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. That creature gains haste until end of turn and can't be blocked by walls this turn. Venture into the dungeon. Can't be blocked by walls is like obviously just like a flavor a flavor win and not anything else.
But I love it.
Um,
But I love
it's,
it so much. It
it's
reminds me of those old, like, you know, walls mattered in like antiquities and revised, and so there were like anti-wall cards, like what's the one, like Goblin Sappers is like this old stupid red goblin card that only destroys walls, because like of course, why would why would that, is it Goblin Sappers? No, it's a different one. But yeah, like stuff like that where it's like, oh yeah, fuck walls, like they can't get us, they can't stop us. Like I love that mechanic. And the fact that they went all in on it for this card, just I would
so
play it
funny.
just because of that. Because what, let's say your opponent has like 2 life and you have a 1/1, and they have that new wall from Avatar out that, like, is a 0/30, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna not that, you just
Kick in
can't
the
stop
door.
me. You can't stop me, baby. I'm kicking in the door. I love it.
It's also a perfect the flavor text on this one is perfect because it's like every barbarian would totally be the one to kick in the door and
Hmm.
sort of not care. We tried your way, now we do it my way, and that's Fim, Barbarian of Baldur's Gate. So funny. Okay, keep it moving. Here's one of the roll a d20 cards. This was the mechanic in Dungeons. They've done this in the Baldur's Gate set too. I like this. I like rolling d20s. I think it was flavorful. I think it's a hit. And there's some interesting probability risk stuff going on with these cards. This one is not very risky, but it does let you scry. It's a flying 3/3 that comes in for 3 and a blue. You roll a dice when it ETBs. On a 1 through 9, you scry 1. On 10 through 19, you scry 2. And on 20, a critical hit, you scry 3. So
Yeah.
50-50 shot at a scry 2 on a flying 3/3. I bet you this card saw some play. Was it
And
bombastic? No. But in a blue white deck, centered around flyers, the ETB here seems great. Why not?
yeah, yep.
Feign Death. We're actually going to talk about this card a little later because it's in the deck. We're going to enter into the system here. It's one of this. They've printed many cards like this. It's the my creature's going to die and I'm going to save it by letting it die and then come back. So this is 1 black. It's an instant. Until end of turn, target creature gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah, there's
what's
a bunch of these. You're about to see them all. We'll get to it.
what I think is funny
Yeah,
about
go
that
ahead.
card is that the person feigning death is a drow, and even if they made it out of that battle alive, they would probably end up getting killed because they feigned death, and that's like ultimate dishonor
Political suicide
in drow
in the crowd.
culture.
Yeah.
um yeah, so yeah, not a good move either way, I guess, for that drow, but maybe she'll have a story to tell about why she
I
was the
you
only one
know
that made it out.
this is a take. This is a hot take, maybe. I actually don't think she's feigning death. I think this is a misprint. I think she's taking a battle nap. I think the drow are so badass that even in the midst of battle, if they get a little bored and sleepy, they might just nod off, and just be like, come at me, bro.
Yeah.
So I think this is actually, if it were me, I would go back to the drow council and they'd be like, what's wrong with you, dude? You totally faked your death and dishonored us all. I'd be like, no, I didn't. I was tired and nobody's going to mess with me. So I took a little baby nap. I don't know. That's just my opinion here. All right, moving on. Underdark Basilisk, pretty simple. It's 1 and a green. It's a 1/2 death touch, limited card, and pretty useful and limited to have blockers that prevent you from having good attacks.
Also, you can
Uh,
set that one aside, Jared, because I actually need that for a deck, funny enough. So, um,
yours.
it's like one random card I just haven't been able to manage to get.
I love it. Aberrant Mind Sorcerer. It's 4 and a blue. It's got psionic spells. When Aberrant Mind Sorcerer enters the battlefield, choose target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard, and then you roll a 20. Interestingly enough, this does not have a critical hit, but they should have put one. You'll see why in a second. On a 1 through 9, you put that card on top of your library. On a 10 through 20, you return the card to your hand. I think they could have done a critical and had you just copy that spell and cast the copy. Is that too crazy? On a
No,
1 in 20 chance?
no,
Come on.
you should be able to do that. 100%.
You should be able to do
I
that.
think
On a
I I think that every D20 card should have a nat 20 result. That was and when I saw that there were some that didn't, I thought that that was a an enormous amount of lost flavor for each of those cards.
It's just, and this is an uncommon, it's a 5 mana 3/4 that draws you half a card. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's just not a good rate, man. That's
Nope.
not a good rate. So at least give us the critical, get us excited to play the card. Everybody wants to do the thing.
Yep.
Shoot, let them copy the card twice. I mean, geez, come on. All right, Tiger Tribe Hunter. Uh, Actually, we got a Tiger Tribe Hunter in the chat, believe it or not. It's a 5 mana card. It's 3 and a red. Whenever Tiger Tribe Hunter attacks, if you attacked with creatures with a total power of 6 or greater this combat, you may sacrifice another creature, and when you do, it deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to target creature. Oh my god, that's a mouthful. So weird. It's sort of like a weird fling type of ability. It's fairly limited. Again, we won't stay on this too long, I don't think.
No, it's
But
weird.
it's not.
It's weird. Mm, I I don't even know. Yeah, that's a weird one.
All right, keep going. Dungeon Crawler, it's another 1 mana black card. It enters the battlefield tapped. That usually means it's going to recur or something. We're going to be able to get it back. Let's see. Whenever you complete a dungeon, you may return Dungeon Crawler from your graveyard to your hand. Yep, there you go.
It should go to the Come on, man. It should
It's
go to the
go to the battlefield,
battlefield. You're completing a
especially if it's
whole
coming in tapped.
fucking
Come on.
dungeon.
Yeah, this is silly. Silly, silly. All right, we've got Forsworn Paladin. I think this one's worth more than $1. It's Menace. It's 1 mana. You can tap 2, 1 in a black, pay a life, and create a treasure token. Not bad. And 2 in a black, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If mana from a treasure was spent to activate this ability, that creature also gains Death Touch until end of turn. That one is not nearly as good. But in a low to the ground sort of aggressive Rakdos deck or something, a Menace 1/1 for 1 that kind of gets you some ramp. Not terrible. I'm going to put it at exactly 75 cents, and I hope it's $1.
You're close. It's 60 cents.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I love the art. I love the
It's
artwork.
so cool.
It's so
It's
cool.
it's
I
awesome.
and those are the kind of cards where I would 100% play it or
For
find
flavor.
some way to play it just so I can look at that art while I play.
Yeah.
It's real nice. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it gives you, it puts some weird blocking situations. They have to respect it, which is kind of interesting. So actually in a commander game, holding up 3 mana and forcing people to respect the death touch
Hmm.
is interesting. Again, I don't think it's entirely playable, but it is interesting. Here's a unicorn for you in foil. If you ever wanted a shiny unicorn, here it is. 2 and a white. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Celestial Unicorn. So it's sort of got the Ajani tribe ability. Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
one's actually not bad. This one, I think this one sees play. I mean, life gain decks love this thing. So despite it being a common, I think it's definitely got some uses. Simple. Island, I will say I do like the flavorful sort of flavor text on these lands from this set. Just adds a little flair. We got a treasure, and this is a nice sort of traditional looking treasure. It's a treasure chest, and then on the back we've got nothing. An advertisement. All right, those are our crack-a-packs for the night. I hope you all enjoyed those. Let us know if we lingered too long on those cards, or if it was fun to kind of go back in the Wayback Time Machine and check out some cards maybe we forgot about. Let's do this. Ian, you ready to do some spoilers?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Now, I
Let
will say this, some of the chat was asking about Lorwyn spoilers, so I think we can kinda integrate some of those too.
Yeah,
I know that the Marvel spoilers just are maybe more, people have more divisive opinions about them.
yeah, we definitely can. Let me get a deck made here. I figured we just do it in a deck.
How we doing,
And
chat? Everybody having fun?
I hope so. I sure hope so.
What's up, Spencer? Just checking to see who else is in the chat here. Hunter's still hanging out, I think. We got Josh. We got Zach. We got all kinds of cool people in here.
So let's
I guess you can hit the 50 EXP button. I don't know what that does, but go for it. I just hit it on my end. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So I got the database updated before the stream tonight, so we're able to actually look up all the new cards in the site, which is exciting. Exciting. Ha ha ha. So we can like go through them if you want in a specific order. If there's any cards that anyone in chat wants to put in that they want to specifically take a look at, we can do that too. Um, I'm really open to however we want to do it. Jared, if you want to, pick something from the list as we scroll through, that's up to you. But yeah, we can look them all up through here, and we can add them to the deck and just talk through them and have some opinions formed.
Yeah, I love it. Let's cruise through. Maybe can we start with the legends? I think that's what most people are interested in. Can we do like an O tag search for
Yep,
this set and legendary creature?
yep.
And then maybe we double back to reprints so we can comment on the art, which I don't know that the art for the sort of full art reprint sheet is as hated as in Avatar with the pixelization. But I definitely have heard a lot of people with not so great comments about the art. I don't mind these at all, and I've snatched up a ton of the Avatar ones because they're very cheap. I picked up a playset of Fabled Passageway from Avatar for like $2 each, and it felt like that was a win. Um, People hate me for that one.
Yeah, I'm ignoring all of the alternate art ones for now. Um, like the reskins. Because there's like black, or is it Electra? Yeah, Electra is Massacre Girl. We know what a
I
Massacre
do think
Girl is.
Elektra being Massacre Girl is pretty amazing. I
I
did see that, and I'm
Yeah,
like, all right,
it's pretty
I'm good with
cool.
it.
I still have a problem with the fact that she's wearing, all red and it's a black card. We've talked about this with Final Fantasy. Like I struggle with how they match. Like, look at this. There's not one shade of fucking blue in this whole Doc Ock card except for that little bit on Spider-Man, but it's a 3-pip blue card. Like, why? Why is that a blue card? That should be more blue. It bothers me. Okay, so I added all of the legendary creatures currently spoiled from the set to our deck. So we have them here. Um, yeah, so I mean we can just hover over them and talk through them if you want.
Yeah,
So
let's start. You know what? We've got Invisible Woman first. Oh, you got it. You can roll up to the top there. Uh yeah. Let's go up to the top. Let's start all the way at the top there.
yeah, so
Okay.
the first one we have is Atuma, Atlantean Warlord. It's a two colorless, two blue for a legendary creature, Merfolk Warrior villain. It's a 3/4. And other merfolk you control get 1/1 +1/+1. And then whenever one or more merfolk you control attack a player, draw a card.
This
Um,
card is somebody's wet dream. Literally. It's blue,
Literally.
they're underwater, and the merfolk tribal thing is classic. It's classic. It's over the many years it's been unsupported, and then we got a ton of support from things like Ixalan. It's a lord. It's pumping all your merfolk, and it's drawing you cards. So I actually imagine we see a Tuma in a whole lot of every merfolk tribal deck that will come out.
Yeah.
Um, People are salivating over this one. The rate. 2 and 2 blue for a 3/4. Not the greatest, um, but you do get to proc the draw card off of it itself. So it also basically has the secret text of whenever you attack, you draw a card. I don't think this is the commander. I think this is one in the 99. I think there's other choices that are probably better, but it's not bad.
Yes. I also think, and chat can help correct me if I'm wrong here, but with this card, if you had Merfolk attack 3 players, you would draw 3 cards. Pretty sure that's how that would work.
Correct. When one or more merfolk you control attack a player, draw a card. So yeah, if you got 4 merfolk, or if you got 3 merfolk lying around, you attack each of your opponents in a commander pod, and
Yep.
you get to draw 3 cards.
And
There's
you don't
there's
need
stuff here that
you don't need to connect either, which I think is relevant. You just have to say I'm attacking you, and then you just get to draw. So that's good. I like that.
yep, yep. Hunter says that's how it works. He also made a good point about Massacre Girl earlier. She's red because of how joyful and invigorated everybody feels when you play it, which is so true.
That's
Oh,
true. That's
good
a
point.
good point.
Good point.
Yeah, I think Hunter was actually part of the crack team for design on this set, so that would make sense that he would know that.
That's right. That's right. But he did sign NDAs, so we probably shouldn't bring his livelihood into this.
That's
What do
correct.
we got next?
The next one I'm really excited about, Jared, which is Baron Helmet Zemo. Um,
I don't even know what that is. I
dude,
can't
so
be a big Marvel person,
he's
but tell me about him.
if you've watched the movies, listen, he's a baddie from like Captain America, like that kind of space of
Oh, no
things.
wonder I don't know who he is.
Um, but he's like, in the movies, a pretty bad dude. He's in the Civil War movie. If you've seen that one, he's the main guy, main bad guy in that one. And the whole thing about him in that movie is like he just kind of gets, all the heroes to be pitted against each other. He's more of like a instigator kind of guy. But I'm super stoked on this card. So it's a 3 black pip, which you already had me. When I see 3 black pips, I immediately go to devotion, which immediately makes me happy. He's
Yeah,
a
we
three.
just talked about this. We're building out my devotion deck. Does he go in there?
I mean, I'm gonna put him somewhere. 3 black pip. He's a 3/3. He's a human noble villain. And whenever you cast a black spell from your hand, he connives. Okay. That's cool. Like, I already like that. So, in conniving, just so everyone knows, is, you essentially draw a card and then you discard a card. And if the card you discard is a non land card, then you put a 1/1 counter on him. So, it's pretty cool. I like it. Also, connive, like, did some work on when I did Spider-Man pre-release. But then he has a boast ability. Now, boast is from Kaldheim, is actually when that came out. But his boast ability, and you can only activate this if the creature attacked this turn, and you can only do it once each turn. But when you boast, you exile any number of black cards from your graveyard with 15 or more black mana symbols among their mana costs. So again, like
Devotion. Yeah, yeah.
mana pips matter. And then you copy those exile cards. You may cast up to 3 of the copies without paying their mana costs. Dude,
Jesus.
dude, like there's so many cards that you could include in that 15 black mana pips, right? So you could have something with 1 black mana pip and a 7. I'm trying to just think through. There's just so many different cards you
So
could
many.
end up playing.
Yep.
Um but you get to that 15 and you can cast 3 spells for free. The possibilities are very high here. I really love it. It's super cool. It's a super unique ability. It is like, you do have to swing in with him, but if you're conniving often, you can totally get him buffed up. You can fill your yard easily with all the mana pips you need. Oh, I love it so much. I want to build it. I just want to build him. And I was actually debating, we'll get to him in a minute. I was debating putting him in Doctor Doom and making like a Doctor Doom deck with him with Baron Helmet in it. I think I'm just gonna make his own deck, dude, because it's just like so freaking cool. So cool.
All right, you sold me. I guess I'm gonna put him in my. I guess we decided that my mono black devotion was gonna be an Arden deck, Arden the Usurper. But you know what's cool about monocolor? You could just sort of play any of these cards. If they care
Yeah,
about pips
yeah,
or they're just cool,
yeah,
you just play whatever card you want to play. So I
yeah,
do like the low to the ground cost. I mean, he's cheap, which is awesome, and he's got some banger abilities. He
yep.
also, if we're talking about that Arden deck, bringing him back from the graveyard as a 5/5 Menace Lifelink Demon, yeah, that's gonna boast a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
so,
like
all right,
what's
you got me.
what do we got with Devotion to Black? Now I'm just curious. We got so many things here that we could do. Um, dude, Abhorrent Overlord. You can make a bunch of 1/1 Black Harpies equal to your Devotion. You put Drag to the Underworld in that. Um, Gray Merchant of Asphodel, just freaking wipe the board or win the game, gain a ton of life. Um, Sanguimancy's super cool. Dude, if anytime I can play Devotion, anything, I will do it. I love Devotion so much, and I love the pips mattering. I think it's just such a freaking cool mechanic.
So cool. And usually the difficulty in casting spells in Commander because of their pips really limits your ability to see those cards. And so you get to bring cards into the mix that you wouldn't normally see on the table, which I think is fun for everybody. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we're making devotion decks. We're both making mono black devotion, and we'll see how our deck lists compare. Maybe that'll be the fun thing. Maybe we'll do a two-headed giant, and both of us will play mono black devotion. It'll be like super devotion. It'll
Yeah.
be like,
Well, and I think Zach's caps lock key is broken, but we do have to play the BFM in this
of
deck.
course,
It
and
has
and
it has 15 black mana pips. Like it was meant to
yep,
be played in this deck. So I do agree. Yes, Zach, I will be putting BFM. And the cool thing about our play group and the people that we play with is it would absolutely be acceptable for us to play BFM in the deck. Like everyone would be cool with it. Like we have a guy coming to Grant's going to be playing Alexander Clamilton this weekend. So I'm all about it. And I think the rule would be right that you have to be able to exile both of them, like both sides of
yep,
the card. That would be the rule, and you'd get the 15. I think that's fair.
yep.
But yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it. All right,
Love it.
let's move on to Bruce Banner. Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, this one's the big meme right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about it. As soon as I saw this card, I was like, "Oh shit!" Because it was immediately clear that this card was as busted as it gets. So Bruce Banner is from the same ilk as some of the Spider-Man cards, and I love these double face modal cards, where you could choose to play either side. So actually, I think this is my favorite type of double face card.
Hmm.
Um, sort of strictly two cards in one. Almost like the split card, but they decided to not have to print the back of a Magic card, which I think is a smart decision. Uh, so Bruce on the front side is one blue. He's got an XX draw X cards, activate only as a sorcery. I predict that people will be playing Bruce on one and then on 2, doing 1/1 X to draw a card, and maybe same thing on 3. I think the double X ability is mostly going to be used to draw 1 card. So tapping to draw 1 card for 2 mana is good. It's good. There's nothing wrong with that. To transform Bruce, you're going to pay 2 red, and 2 green, and you activate that only as a sorcery. Which, did that need to be a clause there? Could we? What would have happened if we activated it as an instant? What would have happened if we could threaten Bruce in battle,
Dude,
turning
there's
into the hole? I
there's
don't
a
know.
there's a million things you could do that that has to exist. Otherwise, it's just dumb. Because you could
Yeah,
you could block with him and turn him
I
into
just
8/8. You could um
it,
yeah, it would be so much more busted if it was available at instant speed. Like, yeah, that would break so many things.
well, it's already broken, and let's talk about it. I love the inclusion of reach for the Hulk. Like, he just jumps up there and grabs an airplane,
I do
and so
like
that was
that.
perfectly amazing. I mean, it's like it's the reach card. Usually, reach means you've got bow and arrow, you've got a gun. Nah, this guy's just gonna jump into the air and grab a friggin' helicopter. Reach and trample. He's an 8/8, and so we're talking a 6 mana 8/8 reach trample, which is already a good stat line, good commander line. Um, you've got your opponents on a 3-turn clock if you can connect with them. But here's the part that's really gross: you can enrage the Hulk. You don't want to do that. It's not a good idea. Whenever the Hulk is dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and if he's attacking, you get to untap him, and then get another combat phase. And here's the kicker here: no limits, no limit Soja. So you can just get your prodigal sorcerers out there, get your Volshock battle masters, get your Caltrops, which is the card that everybody's been talking about. That's a 3 mana artifact that says whenever a creature attacks, Caltrop deals 1 damage to them. So get your infinite attacks with Hulk, hope and pray that nobody has interaction, and that's the game. I mean, that's it. A
There's a
super buff card.
there's something I can think of. Hold on. I'll just try to remember the syntax for this. I think it's destroy target creature. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, that would work. I didn't see hexproof on him. So yeah, we could get rid of him really easy. A bunch of like a million different ways.
So you got to be ready. But as busted as the Hulk is, and even you just don't make the mistake of tapping out when you're playing against Hulk. That's the whole point. But I do think flavorfully, this Hulk card is incredible, and
It's
I say that
it's really cool.
I say that pun intended. It's really good flavor wise.
Yeah, I do like it. It to me feels like a very fair card, in that you can absolutely deal with it, but like you need to be able to deal with it. Otherwise it will, to your point, it will get out of hand. Um,
Very fast,
yeah.
and thank
And
goodness it doesn't have.
and
But
don't
God forbid give this thing haste.
it haste if you give it hexproof, if you give it shroud, if you give it anything that indestructible, like listen, you could have a fight matters kind of situation and just have your dudes fight the Hulk at instant speed during combat. You could do all sorts of stuff to activate that enrage ability. And if you're like, man, I'm in Gruul at the if you're running in the Gruul side of him and you're running low on cards or something, you could change him back and get some draw. The drawback to that is actually no, the counters would stick on him. So you'd have a much weaker but still countered +1/+1 countered Bruce Banner, because the transforming him doesn't take him out of play, so the counters would stick around. But
Yep.
yeah, and I love Hunter's comment. Gruul motto is hope and pray that no one has interaction, and I would 100% agree with that. Yeah.
100%. And they were really grueling for this card. Let me tell you.
Yes.
All right, you
Let's
hated.
move on to let's move on
Going.
to that was
Here
as
we
bad
go.
as my Frog Prince joke. Okay, so the next one is Captain America Super Soldier. We spent what 5 minutes this morning talking about this and there's all the controversy.
A lot of hater.
The
A lot of
professor
hate.
is like
This
gonna
shield doesn't make sense. Just because
yeah.
we have a shield counter doesn't mean you got to use it with Cap. Listen, I think flavorfully they did a good job with this. Captain America is my least favorite hero, even though he hails from Brooklyn. I'm just not the over the patriotism thing just isn't for me. But I think this card rocks, man. It comes in with a shield counter. That's flavorful. It's first strike. It's a 3/2 for 3. And as long as it has a shield counter on it, you and other heroes you control have hexproof. I mean, there's just something. He's a uniter. He's a leader of heroes. He's just, doing the thing. The Jeskai Captain America is really awesome, and I think this one's awesome too. So no shade here. I don't think there's anything remarkable happening with this card. I think it's just powerful. Um, I don't I don't know how you're abusing it except, replicating the shield counters or something. But yeah, I think it's a good card. I think
Yeah,
it's solid. I think it probably is in the 99 more often than it is being run as a commander. I
correct.
think if you're going to app commander, you'd rather have access to 3 colors,
Hmm.
and nothing is really pulling you into a monocolored white deck because of this card. So,
Correct.
99 though, banging.
I would agree. I like it a lot. The only thing, and what's funny about it is the gripe that people have with it is, oh, it's a shield counter, and like that just doesn't seem right. Like he shouldn't lose it, blah blah blah. And you said it earlier today, like, well, yeah, if he loses his shield though, it's like it's not good, not a good time. Um, but my gripe, and it's not even a gripe, it's just kind of funny to think about, is if you duplicate the shield counters, then he's got, three shields on him instead of one. That just would be funny to me with him running around with like three shields. Um,
You know what? You know what though? I think there's a Marvel movie that's like the multiverse of Cap, where Cap is just running from multiverse to multiverse
yeah.
and just stealing other Captain America's shields and hoarding them in the back of his mom's garage. Like he's just like in Brooklyn. There's a brownstone, in like Utica, and he's just like, check out my shield collection.
And he's like this weird, like kind of serial killer Captain America multiverse version that, yeah, he just collects other Captain America shields. That's like his weird, yeah, that
I'd
would
like
be
to
super
think
funny.
it's like when Thor got fat and was drinking all the beer in Love
Yeah,
and Thunder.
yeah.
This is the cat that he opens his garage every day. He sits on a flimsy lawn chair with a beer, and he's got behind him all of the shields of other caps, and he's just like, the kids are walking by. He's like, "Hey, let me tell you a story about World War I." He's just like, he's just that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the cap I like. I'm into that guy.
I like that cap. I like that cap.
No cap.
Cool. And
All right.
Hunter, I don't think that this would be as beneficial in your Sigarda deck because it only gives hexproof to heroes.
Yeah,
So,
that's a weird. I get it flavorfully, but man, that does make this niche, and it sort of makes this a
well,
wait and see guy.
it's forcing you to play, and I actually do kind of like this. It's forcing you to play into the Marvel theme, into the hero
Yeah,
theme.
he's not showing up in a Lord of the Rings deck. That's for sure.
No, no. All right, next up is, oh, dude, I'm so stoked
I'll
on
let you
this.
go. You do this one.
So I'm so
You've got such a
so
you got such a hard on
I'm
for this
so
guy.
fucking
Get in there.
excited about. So first of all, Doctor Doom is like one of my favorite Marvel characters, just kind of in general. I'm also a huge MF Doom fan. That's like how I got into rap and hip hop. And also my name for a million years on any gaming console or platform has been Ian of Doom. And that was partially because of Doctor Doom. It was partially because of Invader Zim, and Doom to Doom Doom Doom. So I just love anything that's got Doom in it, and Doctor Doom's just my favorite. And I want to build around this so bad, and I'm really excited about the plan mechanic or the plan cards that are coming out. They've only teased one so far, but I just saw this and thought it was so cool. So I also like the only Warhammer 40K deck that I bought was the mono black artifact matters precon. And so this is like mono black artifact matters villain shit. I love it. So when he enters, so he costs 6, 2 black and 4. He's a 3/3 human scientist villain. When he enters, you create two 3/3 colorless robot villain artifact creature tokens named Doombot, which is awesome. And then as long as you control an artifact creature or a plan, Doctor Doom has indestructible. Also cool. And then at the beginning of your end step, you draw a card and you lose a life. So it's got a Phyrexian arena kind of monarchy kind of deal going on with it, which is cool. So there's just I don't know. There's just it to
What's the plan?
me
What's
to
the plan, man?
well, let me pull it up. So type is plan. There should only be probably one.
No,
Maybe.
there's a few. They're gonna be doing a
Well, no,
bunch
no,
of
no.
plan.
Like they're gonna do a bunch, but I just don't know. Let me see. We'll do enchantment. Do I have to? Maybe I wasn't thorough enough. There we go. So we'll add this to the deck. So again, like the art, man. Oh my God, I love it. Doom reigns supreme. It's an enchantment plan. It costs 1 and a black. So you can put this down, you know, ideally you want to put this down before you get Doctor Doom out, right? Because whenever a villain you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life, okay? And you put a plan counter on this enchantment. So if you have this down and then you play Doctor Doom, everyone's losing 3 and you're gaining 3, and you're putting 3 plan counters on the enchantment. When the 5th plan counter is put on this enchantment, you sacrifice it. When you do, target opponent exiles the top 5 cards of their library, and you can cast up to 2 spells from among the exiled cards without paying their mana cost. I just can't wait to see what all the plans are, dude. Like, I just want to see what they all are. I love the artwork. It's so Doctor Doom. I just love it so much. I'm nerding out so hard already on this set. And it's only, they've only put out two two Doctor Doom cards. But I'm really looking forward to building around this. I love Helmet, Zemo, like he might go in there. I don't know. It's really cool, very flavorful. And I think one of the things I really enjoyed about Spider-Man was we did pre-release, and I did a villain deck. It was a Grixis villain deck, and I did really well with it. And I was really surprised how well the villain sort of archetype worked, as I played through pre-release for that set. So
It was great.
I'm
It
looking
was really
forward to
great.
it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think this is a cool card. I think the plans are cool. I think there's just a lot of directions you could go with this card. Um, yeah, yeah. There's not a whole lot of populate cards in black, but you could go the populate the Doombots route
You could.
somehow. You can go plans. You could go anything. I mean, it's a friggin' Phyrexian arena on a stick. So
Yeah, at a minimum, you're getting an extra card per turn. You're losing some life,
it
which is
probably
fine.
goes in our mono black devotion deck too. Why not? Just put
Yeah,
them in there. You're not losing anything.
yeah.
Um,
Well, and like Doom Reign Supreme, if you have it out, like unless somebody removes it, which it's like non-threatening enough to where you'd probably forget about it, or there'd be bigger threats on the board to ignore it.
it's hard to justify targeted enchantment removal for that card. It
Yeah,
is tough to justify it.
but like,
Yep.
you know. everybody's gonna lose 15. Well, everyone's gonna lose 5, right? So that's you're almost like a
But is that
guaranteed.
it's whenever a villain you control enters, each opponent loses one life.
Yeah, and you gain 1 life, but when you get to 5 plan counters, you sacrifice the enchantment.
Oh,
So
so you're by the time you get to the sacrifice, everybody has already dipped 5.
and
You've gone up
you've
5.
gone up 5, and then you
You're
get
gonna
to
keep
cast
it for
2 things for free. So you could
yep,
like, it's kind of like pick the person that probably has some stuff that you'd want to have on the board or that you'd want to cast yourself and just like fucking go for it. It's
yeah.
awesome. It's awesome.
Shit. You know what? Zach put in Promise of Aclazotz. Look that up real quick. It looks like it allows you to sacrifice non-demons to populate. And what I think is hilarious is if somebody tries to remove your Doombot, you could just sacrifice a Doombot to populate the other one, and you're back to square. Like you do, it's like a cup game. It's like "Oop,
Yep.
you missed me on that one."
Yeah,
Uh,
well, it's at the it's so it's reliant on the beginning of your end step. So you
oh,
can
okay.
at
So
the beginning of your end step you may sacrifice a non-demon, but to Zach's point, you could do that and make another Doom bot, and that would fuel your Doom Reign Supreme.
yep,
Um, but again, like that's just looking at Doom bots, dude. Like you could sacrifice
anything. Well,
anything.
black. I would want to run this as a sacrifice deck anyway because I'm a sacrifice junkie. And so, yeah, I mean, you're going to have all kinds of shit laying around
Yep.
that you want to sacrifice.
I love
So,
it.
yeah,
Dude,
it's great.
I'm
They
just,
nailed it. They nailed it on flavor. They nailed it on, the mechanically interesting, and it really does pull you into building around it. Like this is a card that I think some of us won't build it because everyone's building it. That's where we're at with Doom.
I think a lot of people are going to build it.
I
Um,
think so many people are going to build it, and there's going to be Doctor Doom exhaustion. And so I think the real game here is to build it different than everybody else and really explore the depths of like the weird nuance that you could do.
yep,
Um,
I agree.
that is my assessment.
I agree. I think like Doom is one of those guys, the flavor is great. He's always plotting, man. So there's always something happening. And you
Yep,
don't know it until it hits, right? It's like subtle until it hits you. Um,
that's right.
so dude, I just love it so much. Let's move on. Bye, Zach. Thanks for joining, dude.
Thanks, Zach. Thanks for hanging.
So
The next one, I don't think people are going to build, but
I was
that's
gonna
just because I think they're great. But I appreciate the flavor. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, inversely to Doctor Doom, let's move on to the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. So here's the deal with the Fantastic Four. I do appreciate this. The Fantastic Four are meant to be built together. Each of them has a colored mana cost, but each of them has a 4 mana ability that sets their color identity at every color except for black. And so the joke here is you can run you do a Fantastic Four deck, and you have all of the Fantastic Four are alternate commanders, and all of them are a different color, and all of them are flavorfully a little bit different than each other. So I get the joke. I think it's novel to basically have 4 alternate commanders that are all different colors in the casting cost, but they're all color identity for color. I just don't know that people are going to be that excited about him. Let's start with Torch. What does Torch do?
Yeah, so he's also huge flavor. Well, I guess maybe not. We'll get into that. So he costs 1 red and 3. He's a 3/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn, he flames on, right? So he gains flying, he gains double strike, and he gains haste until end of turn. Whenever he attacks, you can pay red, green, white, and blue. I forget what that color scheme is called. If you do, until end of turn, whenever he deals combat damage to an opponent, he deals that much damage to each other opponent. Pretty cool. I like it. And if he connects with double strike, also good. That could be a lot of damage. But I don't know. It's kind of, he's okay. He's good.
He's all right. The chat has reminded us that there will be a Fantastic Four precon that was announced, and
Yeah.
so we will see all four of these in a precon. And it might be worth buying the precon because you're getting four, I assume, special commander cards
Yeah.
for each of them. So
Yes, and
it
I
might be
do
worth.
I do agree with Hunter. Hunter brings up an important point about this, which is that they are the four colors opposite of Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is always opposing Fantastic Four, right? So there's no, he's the black, he's the mono black, and they're the other four colors. I love it. I love it so much. The flavor.
Yeah, flavor wins throughout this Marvel set. I think they really. I imagine that these cards were locked in when Spider-Man launched, but it does sort of seem like they learned some important lessons in terms of fandom and what we want to see out of Marvel IP. Because I'm a lot more impressed with these cards already.
Yep.
So I'm not going to build, or I'm not going to build the four. I might buy the precon just to have it, but I do acknowledge it's pretty stinking cool what they've done flavor wise.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to Invisible Woman real quick. She's a white and two. She's a 3/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast a non-creature spell this turn, create a 0/3 colorless wall creature token with Defender and Reach. I kind of dig that. It's cool. Whenever you attack, you can pay the same color scheme. When you do, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each creature you control and can't be blocked. So here's where like the synergy starts to come in, right? Now, granted, you have to be able to pay all of this mana, but if you were able to pay this four colors plus the four colors for Human Torch, right? You could you could be doing a fuck ton of damage, like to everybody, right? Because you could give, and that's assuming it's just the two of them on the board, but that would give an Human Torch, and you have to have cast a non-creature spell, so there's that mana included in this whole cost. But if you're able to do that, he would get +2/+0. He can't be blocked. He would have double strike. That's 10 damage to one person plus another 10 damage to each other opponent. You're throwing, again, like that's just if you had just two of them, and nobody else on the board. Actually, you would have a wall creature, so it would technically be 3+3/+0, so you'd be doing 12 damage to everybody. It's pretty, the possibilities here are there. It's just a lot of mana. Like you got to be able to make all this mana to fuel what is happening here. Not impossible by any means. But these really, you obviously want to synergize all, I'm guessing, four of them during combat to really have this big ass, like it's probably win con. Like we'll call it a win con. If you could
Yep.
generate 12 mana and cast a non-creature spell before you go to combat, um, you're probably going to win or be very close to winning if you can pull that off, which is pretty cool. I kind of like that it does that.
Here's
So
here's my prediction. My prediction is that this precon is going to have one of the best mana bases we've seen in a precon. Mark it down. I think this is the one because, to your point, being able to essentially Wooburg twice on a turn or three times on a turn is like significantly harder to accomplish in a mana base than just having your standard prismatic, even 5 color deck. There's 4 colors, so on face value, you're like, well, it's one color, less complicated. But if you are incentivized to do multiple of each of the 4 colors, I think the mana base is going to be hot. I think we're going to have a really nice mana base on this precon. Might be worth buying the precon just for that.
I mean, let's call it Nyx Bloom Ancient is probably an auto include for this deck because you could tap 4 mana, 4 lands, and you could pay for three of those casting costs or three of those
Oh
activated
yeah.
abilities right there, triggered abilities.
Oh yeah. Now Nick's Bloom Ancient, doesn't he cost? Isn't he 3 green pips?
He's three green and four, but you're going to be
Yeah.
running green, right?
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, you're gonna have to. The base, it's gonna be base green, like every
Mhm,
prismatic adjacent deck there is.
mhm.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you. Um, Maybe even like Mirari's Wake would be a
Any mana doublers, yeah. Any mana doublers are going to probably be good to have. At least if that's what you're going for the win condition. You could probably build this a bunch of different ways and have that not be how you win. But for me personally, I would want to win with the Fantastic Four doing their thing as as a team. So let's move to Mr. Fantastic because he's up next. Um, he's a blue and a two. Vigilance and reach. I love the reach on him because he's, Mr. Bendy dude. At the beginning of combat, if you cast a non-creature spell this turn, you draw a card. That's pretty, I mean, that's useful kind of all the time. He's a 2/4 also. Okay, so here's the other thing. You can pay, so this isn't a combat specific ability. You can pay that cost, the same color cost, tap him, and copy a triggered ability twice.
twice.
So then you could copy Invisible Woman's triggered ability two times,
Yep.
and again, put it on Human Torch, give him a, oh my God, dude, what are we at? +9, +0. Um, and it just it goes real it gets real crazy. You're doing 24 damage at that point, and that's if that's if thing isn't out, right? And we're hoping that thing is going to be out, right, for all this. But that's let's do the thing. Let's do thing. Thing is the biggest, of course, the most expensive. One green and five. With trample, great, love it. He's a 5/5, awesome. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast an on-creature spell this turn, put 4/1/1 counters on thing. Whenever the thing attacks, you may pay that color scheme. When you do, double the number of each kind of counters on any number of target permanents you control. So I'd say his is like the least synergistic because it's well, and it kind of in the comics, he's kind of like always doing his own thing. He's kind of a, he's the brick wall, right? So he's kind of running on his own, trampling through, he's coming in at what, he'll be a 9/9 the first turn you put him out if you cast an on creature spell.
Yep.
Um, and then you double the counters on any number of target permanents you control. So like him, anybody else, it just that can also go crazy because then not only does somebody have to figure out what to do with your Human Torch, you could also make the thing unblockable if you so chose. Um, Although I think the move is to give Human Torch all that damage and just have him wipe the board. Um, but you could also be swinging him with the thing and just, I mean, it'd be not. He could be real big. He could be a real big boy,
Big guy. You could also
real
cop
big chunker.
shield counters.
Yeah, he could do shield counters. Hmm.
You could do, I mean, there's all kinds of weird stuff. I have another prediction for you, and they're not predictions. I mean, I know it's going to happen. I don't know exactly what they're going to call it, but, I think there's going to be a card that's going to be Nick Fury's cell phone, and it's a tutor for heroes. Just,
Oh,
riddle me this, Batman.
yeah,
Nick Fury's cell phone, it's like 3 mana, two and a white or a black or something. And you get to tutor a hero out, and maybe like until end of turn, hero spells you cast cost 2 less or something. But you get to put Nick Fury's cell phone back in your hand at the end of turn. Or there's some clause where you get to call up the next hero
yeah.
every turn. That's my prediction.
Well, there are six tutor legendary cards that I just pulled up. So we have Captain Sisay, actually five that would apply to this deck. Captain Sisay. We have Search for Glory, which I really like Search for Glory. It's really cool. It's a snow sorcery that lets you search for a legendary card, a saga, or a snow permanent. You have Thalia's Lancers, another card that no one ever remembers because it was from a really bad set. But it does let you search for a legendary card. Time of Need, the unsung legendary tutor from Kamigawa, original Kamigawa, also real great and only costs two. And then War of the Alliance or War of the Last Alliance. And this one's kind of cool. It's from Lord of the Rings. It's a saga. So you the first two turns, the first two modes are tutoring for a legendary creature. So, you get all that, and then on the last turn, all your creatures get double strike, and the ring tempts you, which whatever. But that could be
I
fun.
feel like War of the Last Alliance feels like a Marvel title, and I feel like they could just
L-
reprint this card outright
Reskin
and
it.
in it.
But it
Yep,
has the ring tempts you. That can't be in Marvel.
yeah, yeah. That's a bummer.
It
It's
is.
almost. It's
It is.
close.
It's almost, yeah. All right, let's move on. We got Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I just love these characters. I don't know. I've watched a lot of Moon Girl with my kids on Disney Channel. It's a fun little cartoon as well. But it's cool Simic stuff, right? We're doing Simic stuff. So it's a legendary creature, human dinosaur hero. Awesome. Whenever you draw your second card each turn until end of turn, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur's base power and toughness become 6/6 and they gain trample. It starts as a 2/2. Sorry, I didn't call that out. And then
Yeah, I mean, I've
whenever
heard that this card is going to go into like modern decks. Like there's a place for this card that
for
people are going
sure,
to be, breaking it in a million pieces.
for sure, because the next ability is almost assuredly going to make it a 6/6 every turn on your turn, and could easily make it a 6/6 on other people's turns as well to do silly shit or just draw you. But whenever an artifact you control enters, draw a card.
Yep.
It only triggers once
Correct.
per turn, but that's
Correct.
in a green blue deck. You could do that a bunch of different ways, and you're going to
You've
draw every turn.
got investigate token, clue tokens. You've got
Hmm.
uh, not a ton of treasure support, but there's some stuff there. I mean, you could do some really funny, weird stuff with this funny, weird card. So I'm in.
Yeah, I wonder. I can't remember if this is. I don't think that's a valid O tag. Maybe clues matter. No, but there's a bunch of cards in green blue that care about clues and investigating, and that could be a fun way to play it. I've always wanted to make an investigate deck, dude. Like it's been it's been on my radar for a while. Um,
Yep.
investigate, we'll do type legendary, and I don't even think I need to put Simic. Most of them are going to be Simic. Yeah. So, let's see, where is she?
You got, your tireless trackers, your mother goose. I mean, there's just so many, or golden goose comes down and gives you a food. You've got, there's
This one.
the
This one.
Hansel and Gretel card, the breadcrumbs card.
Yeah.
Uh,
Lannis, cryptozoologist. This is the one I've almost built a couple times. So this one says whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield, you investigate. Under your control, you investigate.
oh,
And then
so good.
you can tap and sacrifice X clues. Target opponent reveals the top X cards of their library. You can put a non-land permanent with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield under your control. So that's another fun clues matter kind of thing. There's another Lannis that you can, it has Evolve. I love Evolve at any point in time.
Yep.
But whenever you put 1/1 counters on it, you investigate that many times. So you could make a shitload of clues that way. And then whenever you sacrifice a clue, you put a 1/1 counter on another target creature you control. So that could also feed into um, your dinosaur, right? there's a lot of cool. I really like Investigate. I've just never built it, and I really should just at least put a deck list together and maybe get it in paper someday.
I love it,
A
man.
lot of cool
I
stuff.
think Investigate is such an interesting ability that was like the start of all of the generated artifact that you could sack for something.
Hmm.
But I think it was really good in limited. I think it's really good in commander because of the access to mana in commander and because of the lack of resources in limited. It's like one of these things that's like it's not super frequent where you get great and limited, great and commander, and then the other formats are like, nah, miss me on this shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's something cool. All right, that one's great. What else we got?
We got Namor, the Merfolk. So Namor is two blue and and a colorless. He's a Merfolk mutant villain. He has flying, which always throws me off because I forget about his wing feet. And his power is equal to the number of Merfolk you control. He is a star, you know, um, power and 4 toughness. And then whenever you cast a non-creature spell with one or more blue mana symbols in its mana cost, create that many 1/1 blue merfolk creature tokens.
Oh,
So again, another like devotion to blue.
yep.
Ugh, I love it. I hate it, but I love it because it might make me. And Zach called me out on
Are we
this.
gonna do a devotion cycle and you and I both build, every monocolor devotion
I
deck
think,
that
I mean,
exists?
I'm into it, dude. I'll do it.
I mean, there's
I
all kinds of cool shit in Blue Devotion. You get all the Thassa stuff. You get,
Yeah, let's
yeah,
see.
there's
Let's
cool
see.
stuff, dude. There's some cool stuff.
Let's see what's devotion. We'll do color equals blue.
It's interesting because you need to go Merfolk too. So
That's
yeah,
not
there's.
hard. You're in blue, dude. Everything's
I
merfolk. Look at
know, I
this.
know. I'm thinking like, I'm already like thinking of all the cool multi blue pip cards, but they're not Merfolk. So you just have to kind of
Win with
balance it.
win it with Thassa's Oracle. There you go.
Of course.
Thassa's rebuff. That's cool. That's funny because like that's actually a really good counter spell if you're playing mono blue because it's counter target spell unless its controller pays X, where X is your devotion to blue. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh my God, dude. Totally forgot that card even existed. Um, yeah, those are just the ones that are blue that have
It's funny
devotion.
though, because in mono blue, who gives a shit? You just run a counter spell.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
not,
yeah,
the generic isn't that important.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, yeah, this one, it's what's funny about it is I didn't read it the right way when I first read it until right now, and now I'm like actually kind of excited about it. And Zach even said, he's like, Ian, this is your card. I'm like, for what? Like, I won't put I think he thought I was going to put it in my Watcher in the Water deck.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't fit in there. It's not a Merfolk deck, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll build a Merfolk deck now.
It's
Um,
also interesting with spell slingery too. They want you to have
yeah.
creatures or folks. They want you to have non-creatures
Hmm.
with lots of tips. There's
Yeah.
just a lot going on here.
He
Maybe
gets,
this is a place for my Sharknado, which
yeah. Heck yeah.
that sort of spell slingery, you know, thing in the ice could go in here. I mean, there's just a bunch of weird shit that could go in here.
You could do some fun stuff for sure. Like, and the non-creature spell aspect of it is cool too, because you could listen, if you're a scumbag like me and you're gonna probably build this in like a control platform, you build it with counter spells that have
Of
multiple blue
course.
mana pips. You do Archmage's Charm, you do um fuck, I just forgot the name of it. You just put, all the counter spells that have multiple blue pips, and then you make a bunch
Yeah,
of
of
merfolk and
course.
you get Namor huge, you give him unblockable because you're in blue, and then you just win. That's just what happens.
You just friggin' win.
I'm gonna build it. I This
Build
decided.
it.
All right.
Build it. Real quick, Hunter made a good point, and shamelessly, I want to go back to the Nick Fury cell phone card.
Thanks, Greg.
You should only be able to activate Nick Fury's cell phone if you've lost life this turn because it's an emergency where Nick Fury needs to call up the heroes. I love that.
It's got to be
Oh,
that. It's got to
I
be that
love it.
mechanic that cares if you have 5 or less life. What is it? Final hour. Uh,
No,
what was that?
no, you got to be able to clear those heroes quicker than that. None of these heroes are gonna save you at 5 life.
You know what I'm talking about, though. The what's it
Yeah, yeah,
called?
yeah.
Yeah, you got to have less. You got to have a certain amount of life or less, I think, to be able to call in the bad guy or the good guys. Um,
Or I think life lost, but maybe it's not one life.
or
Maybe you have to
or
try to
you can
relife or
you can use it, but you can only call in Captain Marvel, and she enters the battlefield.
something. Oh God. Yeah, let's not.
All right, moving on. Quicksilver, Brash, Blur. You're gonna have to
Oh man,
help me.
controversy. A lot of people are
You're gonna have
pissed
to
about
help
this
me
one.
out on this one because I don't get it. I don't understand
People
it.
are mad. People are mad. They're attaching ley line text onto a creature. People are real pissed.
Yeah, but there's stuff like this that exists that aren't ley lines. There's creatures that exist that can do things before the game starts if it's in your opening hand.
I don't think so. This is the first one with the ley line text.
No, no, no. Hold
You've
on.
got 0 mana creatures. That's fine, but this is
No.
like it
Look.
starts.
Look at this. You got listen, they may not come out, but they do things. You have all the chancellors from New Phyrexia. You have this one is actually really gross. People run this in certain metas because you get land at the beginning on your first turn, you get an extra green. Um, this one can do stuff. You have Gemstone Caverns, you have lands that can do things, ley lines, there's an artifact, obviously ley line axe, that's cool. Um, thinks this makes your
Yeah,
total 26. So listen, there isn't a creature that enters. Okay, fine, whatever. But there's other things that do opening hand shenanigans. So I don't know. I don't get what the big deal is. You put him out and he can attack on the first turn for one. Like I don't see what the big I'm
I think
sure
that
there's ways people are gonna, and I think maybe this
mod.
is more of like a modern thing.
Yeah, 100%. This is not a commander. Um, if I were going to play a 0 mana commander, I'd play Rograth or whatever his name is, and pick up the partner ability and get a second commander.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you know, I think the power up ability is also not there. There's again, I think it's a combo piece for vintage decks. That's where I think this one is getting some press. But yeah, for
yeah.
commander,
That makes
there's
sense.
nothing fairly interesting. Let's go to old Super Scroll,
Yep.
he's the new Kenrith,
The new Kenrith, the bad Kenrith.
Bad
Mm-hmm.
Ken.
Bad Ken.
Mm,
Yeah, so look at all those black mana pips. Um,
mm,
he's
Jeez.
a 4/5 Skrull shapeshifter villain. Comes in for 3 black and 1 white, or 1 colorless, sorry. He has flying. Okay. You can pay a white and 2 to make a 0/4 colorless wall. You can pay, oh, I'm just noticing these are kind of like alternates to the Fantastic Four abilities that we saw above.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay green and 3 to give him +4/+4 till end of turn. You can pay red and 4 to deal 4 damage to target creature only. That's And then you can pay blue and 5 to have a target player draw 4 cards. That's cool if you wanted to make
Yep.
people take damage from drawing or something. Um, oh, it's cool. I think you're probably playing it just to get the colors and
Yep.
maybe to do one or two of these things.
It's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, but yeah, I mean, I think it's like what is it? Child of Alara, was the original. You just throw it in there so you could play a prismatic deck and rarely use it.
Yeah, or like Kenrith. I
or
mean,
Kenrith.
listen,
Yeah,
Kenrith has abilities that are worth activating, like
for sure.
the haste one and returning cards and stuff from the graveyard. But it's still
And
like,
look, attacking as an 8/8 or an 8/9 flyer every turn,
yeah, it's not
using
nothing.
the green ability, nothing wrong with that. And
Yeah.
you're going to do it the first attack you get. Like I imagine most people are going to pay 4 mana, get it down, go a turn cycle, and then swing for 8 in the air.
Why not? Yeah.
Why not?
Also, all these are also activatable as instants, which is cool. Um, yeah. Hunter is
Yep,
saying Quicksilver starts on battlefield, cast Gamble. Okay, so Gamble lets us search and then discard a card at random.
yep, at random,
Copy it with Flare of Duplication. I can't remember
which
what
is a
that is.
free location spell, and then you search up.
Oh, you can cast it with if your commander's out, you cast
Yep,
it without paying its mana cost. Okay, I can see what that would do. Yes, you get two of your
there you
best
go.
cards on turn one. You're gonna have to discard two cards at random though, which you're down one, two cards. So you're back up to seven. So you have a 1 in 7 chance to discard. I get it. Yeah, all right. Okay, the last one, the Sentry, Golden Guardian. I, I'll be
I
honest,
got to tell you,
I don't know
I
who
love.
this is. I don't even know what
Well,
superhero this is.
did you see Thunderbolts?
No.
Oh my God, you got to see it. Thunderbolts is one of the best Marvel properties that's come out in a while. And Bill Pullman's son, I don't know what his name is, but he looks just like his father. He plays the Sentry, and it's so good. He's so good. I'm a big fan of this. This was one of the cards that I was like, oh, they're doing the thing. This is pretty cool.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Flare of Duplication wouldn't work because if he's your commander, he has to start in the command zone. Am I missing something here? He'll never be in your opening hand. So he can't just be on the battlefield. He has to be part of your 99 to be coming out on the first turn.
Oh, interesting.
Right? Am I crazy? Did I read Flare of Duplication wrong?
Well, forget it's not Flare of Duplication. It's read the Quicksilver.
No, no, no.
See if it works.
I know that, but like Flare of Duplication, you can sacrifice a non-token red creature. Okay, that's what it is. Sorry, it's not the if your commander's out. You can sacrifice him to it, but still, it can't be in your
But how,
command zone. It can't be in your command zone.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting. Hunter says reread Flare. What does Flare say? Go again.
I mean, I guess you could put him out turn one, so you pay the one to put him out, but then still, he can't be your commander. He'd have to be in the 99.
Well, the whole point is you need the red for the gamble. So it is
Yeah.
dependent on having Quicksilver out for free, but I don't think you could do that when he's in the zone.
You can't. He's got to be in your 99. And you have to pull him and Gamble in your open and Flare of Duplication in your opening hand. It can happen, but it's got to be pretty.
Well, and maybe it's actually I think what Hunter is saying is this is more of a 60 card deck. This is the vintage deck tech. This is not Commander. We were misreading this as a
Yes,
Commander thing.
yes. So yes,
It's
that would be like
four,
you
you run
have
four
you have
gambles and four
four,
like
yep, four of these, four flares, four
yeah, yeah.
gambles.
That's the move.
Yeah,
You originally said that Flare was Commander contingent, and that sent us down to the Commander line, but it was in fact not at all about Commander. Yep,
correct. Yeah. Yep.
yep. Okay, let's read Sentry.
Okay. Sorry. Thanks, Hunter, for following along and
Humbling us.
dealing with our stupidity. So the Sentry Golden Guardian is a 5/5 human hero. He comes in for three colorless and a white. He has flying, vigilance, and indestructible. I'm into that. I love it. I love that. When he enters, target opponent creates the Void, a legendary 5/5 black horror villain creature token with flying, indestructible, and The void attacks each combat if able. I think this is super cool. I do like it a lot. You can just keep battling the two of them against each other. That's fun. This could also be fun if uh you're in mono white, so if you could goad the
Yeah, you go.
void, is that the move? Like, what is
Goading is not a big. You can't do a whole lot of goading in white, but there's shenanigans for sure. Like this is the kind of card that makes you go, "Oh, I want to break this somehow."
yeah,
there's something there.
what would you do? I'm just like I'm kind of noodling on it. Would you could goad, okay, you could goad. You could also put up like ghostly prison and shit like that, so like
Oh yeah,
it can't
just
attack
backs the
you.
board.
You could
Blink the
also
sentry a bunch of times and make it impossible for them to attack you. You play blink. You do a
oh,
crazy
you blink it and then
and
yeah.
you can also, if somebody thinks they're cute and attacks you with the void, you can number one, you could block with the sentry and they bounce off of each other. And so that doesn't really help. But you can also blink in response and do some wackadoo shit. There's bizarre stuff you could do with this card.
Okay,
I'm loving it.
yeah, blinking would be kind of fun. You just give everybody a copies of the thing, and yeah, it's like almost like a stack. Like you'd want to probably play it like Blinky Stacksy, kind
Yep.
of pillow fort, not pillow fort, but I guess pillow fort, right? You
Yep.
can't attack me, but I'm gonna keep giving everybody things, and that's fun.
Well,
Um,
and the other part too, and Hunter mentioned this, is the vigilance is extremely relevant here because you get to attack with the sentry every turn and still hold up your blocks
hmm.
for everybody
Oh,
else's
good
void.
point.
So
Good point.
every player can attack you with the void, and you can bounce off of the sentry. Um, but you get to attack with the sentry, and unless their voids have to attack. So they're bouncing off of you. You still get to attack with vigilance and actually connect for 5. Um, yeah, it's cool. It's some cool, wacky. This reminds me of my bird deck where stuff comes in tapped and is goaded and it like kind of forces things to pan out in a very specific way.
Yeah,
So most important piece of this card is the vigilance. That is the game
yeah,
changing word ability.
yeah. I wonder if you could also play it where like kind of like my Ariete deck, but without taking people's things, obviously, but putting auras on the voids. Because there's definitely here, let's look. Oh, we're gonna do O is gold, and then we're gonna do color equals white. And oh, look at that. Look at that. Here's some gold stuff. Ooh, that's fun. You got Martial, Impetus, Redemption Arc, Serene Sleuth. At the beginning of combat on your turn, investigate for each goaded creature you control. Then each creature you control is no longer goaded. Okay. I don't know. There's a few options.
This is one of the most bizarre commanders, and that's the kind of shit I love. And I'm not a big white player, but this is sort of the type of weird card that pulls me in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Truly.
Yeah, this is your Doctor Doom.
In some ways, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, I gotta think through the Golden Guardian. You got to watch Thunderbolt so you can appreciate it because that was a good movie. Good movie.
Okay.
All right, well that rounds us up on the legends. I don't know that we thought we were going to spend so much time on this, but a lot of great conversation and insights here. Hopefully everybody has enjoyed it. It might just be Hunter and us left in the chat. It's almost 10:40.
Let's
I
see.
really wanted to show off my Marvel deck, but I just don't think we got the time to do it
No,
unless you're
probably not. No,
feeling real special about it.
no. I think we could save that for another night. Yeah. yeah, Hunter's saying we could soft goad with Mangara or a Fire Main Commando. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. Um, yeah, so I think that we definitely spent a lot of time on this. I didn't think we would either, which is awesome. Um, we owe
Hey, Jazz. Yep. Sorry, we forgot about you there for a second.
we owe Hunter a Lorwyn spoilers stream. And
Yep.
just it'll be dedicated to Hunter. So Hunter, we see you. Thank you for sticking around for the Marvel spoilers. We'll do a Lorwyn spoiler, and hopefully there might be some additional spoilers by the time we get to that in a couple days or so.
Well,
Um,
we should be getting the whole dang spoiler list for Lorwyn any day now. I mean, we should be closing in on the end.
that's next? Is it next? That's next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's coming out like beginning of January. I thought it was like January 8th or 9th or something, but I could be crazy.
Okay.
I've been known to be crazy.
It happens. Okay.
Yep.
Well, cool.
Another
Um,
great stream.
yeah, this was great. We covered a lot of stuff. I mean, we covered a lot. I loved the conversations on these new cards. I think I just got super excited about Jesus, Namor. Didn't think I'd get that excited about Namor. Um, I'm still incredibly pumped about Doctor Doom. Zemo is going to be my boy. It's shaping up, man. They could just put the cards out that they have, and I'd have plenty of stuff to futz with, which is great.
Yep. Yep. And I think more and more as they add more sets and make it more viable to have sort of all Marvel decks, they keep reprinting cards. It's almost like, Magic is creating its own Marvel variant, because,
Hmm.
these Marvel cards do feel out of place elsewhere, but they're bringing enough support to where you could just stick to the lore and have all Marvel decks. And I know there's been a bit of that already, but um, I'm just I'm happy with the direction we're going. I didn't hate Spider-Man as much as many people did. We had a blast at the pre-release, an absolute
Oh man,
blast.
it was so
Uh,
fun. It was so fun.
so
Like,
this just seems strictly better on every front, man.
well, yeah, and I think like this is, I mean, if Spider-Man pre-release was anything to speak of, right? Like this would be 100% worth going to pre-release for too. It'd be a blast.
Yep. Yep. We got to do it. We got
Yep.
to do it.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Everybody have a
Cool.
fantastic night. Thanks for sticking it out. Thanks for coming to support us. Remember, join the Discord. Only if you're feeling really cheeky, join the Patreon and support us. We don't ask for that, but you're more than welcome to, and it helps a lot. And do all the SEO stuff. Hit the bell, do the subscribe, send us XP, whatever nonsense you could do that's free to you and low effort. We'd appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.